From the campus lights to the game day fight, Texas dust on the boots, packed out stands in the sun. Every school has a story, every season has one. Turn it up, lean in close, hear that crowd start to roll. The CoryHogueSports Show, the CoryHogueSports Show. Big stories and real conversations, bring the truth, let it roll. The CoryHogueSports Show, the CoryHogueSports Show. For the schools beyond the spotlight, where the heart of the game still shows.
This is the CoryHogueSports Show, episode 2. Pros already. The intro's fixed a little. Kind of. Almost. Getting there. Learning some things, like it's not on Substack right now. Now I know what I got to do. We'll fix it for the next one. By the way, while I'm talking about that, Friday will not be a show. I have a mental health appointment, and as we all know, Corey, don't miss those. And those are kind of important these days. So I have one of those Friday, and then next Wednesday I will also not have a show because Gabe and I are going to go watch Dogman the movie. He is extremely excited, and I have never been more over the moon about watching a movie, but it's always fun. I love taking him to movies over the summer, get him out the house, gives us something to do. Last week, went with some friends, Trey Reed and Emily Reed, to Chickasha, Chief Drive-In Theater in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and saw Minions and Monsters Toy Story 5. If you get a chance, I highly recommend it. It is a great drive-in theater. They start around dark, roughly 9:15, 9:30ish, and it's 2 features. It's a lot of fun. It's really easy to get to right off the freeway. Really, really easy to get to. I know Graham has a drive-in movie theater as well, and so those are always a fun experience. I highly recommend it. Hey, we got a lot to talk about today, including I got thoughts on FIFA World Cup. We'll get to those. Going to give some updates on some of the sports that I love to watch this time of year. A lot of people may not even be aware, like Wimbledon. Most people know that, right? But Tour de France, I'm a bike riding fan. We'll get into some of that. And then at the back half of the show, we're going to be talking my 2026 Southwestern Junior College Football Conference predictions. SWJCFC predictions coming your way. I am Corey Hogan. By the way, if anyone wants to feel like a presenting sponsor, I would take it, especially if I don't know if you saw what happened yesterday, Big 12 Media Days. They announced, Brett Yormark, the commissioner, announced a deal with Monster Energy that's going to pay roughly $20 million a year for a presenting sponsor for every team, for every school. All guys, it is a horrendous deal for the Big 12. Horrendous. That is, I'm not necessarily a fan to believe that it's best to sell those commercial rights as a whole, as a conference anyway, unless you're talking championship games and stuff. But to do that individually, to do that to where these teams are only making $1.5 million a year, you could easily get that or more for football in the Big 12. FCS teams are asking for $500,000. Come on now. You got to get better. Got to do better than that. Cody Campbell from Texas Tech, and listen, they're putting their money in it. They're putting their money. He's got money, and he's putting it in it, and he's trying to get the rest of the teams in the conference to come up there and be a part of it as well and put their money where their mouth is. And right now, even the commissioner's not going that far. You gotta value yourself more. If that's what the commissioner values the conference as, well, you need a new commissioner. That's my opinion on that. I do not like that deal for them. But if anyone wants to spend $1.25 million, you could definitely be the presenting sponsor of the CoryHogueSports Show for $1.25 million. I would have zero problem with that. Also, want to take time to say thank you. Thank you all for watching. The response has been tremendous. Thank you all for reading, for going on to the CoryHogueSports.substack.com. It means a lot watching this video and doing these things. I love bringing it to you. And so, yeah, we're going to have some fun. We got more to talk about here. FIFA World Cup. I'm not sure. There it is. I had it ready. FIFA World Cup. The U.S. lost the other night to Belgium 4-1. That was bad. That was bad on a lot of levels, because as good as soccer and the U.S. men's national team has been during this tournament, they got exposed for having played what was a weak group. It was a weaker group, and it was that way on purpose because, as I talked about Monday, FIFA's corrupt. FIFA's corrupt. Why do you think Argentina is in the quarterfinals? Because FIFA's corrupt. That was an egregious no call in the box. That's a penalty shot yesterday. That's what Argentina got by. And of course, I'm not going to sit here and say the referee solely or the VAR solely, but there is some influence in there to not. Right? And we see it in pro. Let's not act like this is just the World Cup that we have this with. You know, Jordan rules, LeBron rules, those fouls, things like that. Come on. It's all over. It's always been that way. And so it's human nature. That's why it happens. Can't fix it. Not going to. But for the U.S. men's national team, few things they need to do. They got it. First off, we got to get rid of these. Reem, I love the guy. Can't keep having him out there. Cannot keep having Reem out there. They've got some strikers, but they need midfield. They need guys who can really control the ball, control the possession. And Christian Pulisic is not that guy. He's not. Maybe Fuller and Balogun can with a few more years, but we need to stop giving Christian Pulisic that kind of treatment because he has shown that he is not that guy. And Carly Lloyd was exactly correct the other day on what she said about him. They just disappeared. He disappeared. Wimbledon, the final remaining U.S. men's player, was eliminated today. Alexander Zverev beat Taylor Fritz 4-4-2. It was straight sets, not necessarily a surprise. Zverev is a whole nother level. The fact that Taylor Fritz is a sixth-ranked player shows he's getting a lot better. He just isn't to that tier of a Zverev, Djokovic, Sinner yet. Zverev Zverev likes to be the bad guy, and this is a chance for him to be the bad guy once again when he plays in the semifinals against England's Ferry, who beat Kobali in straight sets. 6-4, 7-6, 6-0. Kobali just fell apart at the end. Yesterday, Djokovic needed 4 sets for Auger Aliassime, and Sinner only needed 3 sets to beat Struff, who made a heck of a run. The German made a heck of a run through there. Semifinals in 2 days, Sinner and Djokovic. Ferry and Zverev. I think you're going to see Zverev. Joker Sinner is interesting to me. And the reason I find that one probably the most interesting is Sinner is who Joker used to be, and Joker is who Sinner wants to be. Joker was always a guy who would kind of mentally collapse in these tournaments, in the big matches. Sinner is that guy. That's what happened to him in the French. He can get through. Look, he's a Grand Slam champion, and he's got that ability again. He's got the makeup. It's the mental aspect of it that Sinner has to hone in on. That's what he has struggled with the most. And so I think that's going to be interesting. One thing about Djokovic is you have to mentally break him to beat him now. He's not going to go easy. And I don't know that Sinner is up to that. It's going to be a really interesting semifinal. On the women's side, Coco Gauff took down Jess Pegula in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. She plays Mukova, who beat Osaka in straight sets. I like Coco in that match. I think Coco has a really good shot and a chance to get to the championship on Saturday. And you know what? She's got a good chance to win because this ladies' draw has been wide open. Kovalchuk and Noskova play in the other semifinal. Coco Gauff takes 7:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. That is when her match starts. It should be on ESPN, I would assume. 9 o'clock following that match will be Kovalchuk and Noskova. I really think Coco Gauff has a great chance of taking home the Wimbledon title this year, and I'd love to see it. I've always been a big Coco Gauff fan. Told you I've been watching the Tour de France. Let's talk about the Tour de France. Today was finally a day for the sprinters, and it was a guy kind of made his pronouncement into the Tour de France. Olav Koij, a young guy who had not really had a chance in the Tour. Well, he took it with the decathlons team today, and he got the sprint victory, out beating Cantor and Merlier for the final. That is an impressive job. You look at the overall right now, and Torstein Trine is in from Norway, Norwegian, is in the number 1 position, and Steve Quinn, I believe, or Sean Quinn from the United States is in second in the overall rankings right now. He's 28 seconds behind Trine. Really, the guy who's probably going to win this tour is Tadej Pogačar. He right now is 4th, 7 minutes, 53 seconds behind. But when Tadej and Josef Vingegaard get to the mountains, that time gap's going to erase quickly. The green jersey, overall, Peterson from LIDL Trek, Lidl Trek, he's got 143 points. He leads Gourmet by quite a bit. Gourmet is the reigning green jersey holder. In the mountains, Bodin keeps his lead as well. And the youth rider, a lot of time, it used to be Tadej. It's now Vacek from Lidl Trek as well. Matthias Vacek is the guy there. Love the Tour de France. This one, I will say this about the Tour de France this year. Normally it starts with quite a few flat stages, sprinter's delight. They've mixed it up. They've mixed that up. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable to watch how they've done it. It started with the team time trial. Then they had a hilly section, a mountain, more hills. Today was the first flat stage, not till stage 5. And now tomorrow you go back into the mountains, and then you got a couple of flat stages, one that's going to be a little hilly heading into the rest day. After the rest day, it hits all the time. It's going to be mountain, couple flat. They're really kind of breaking it up. After the first rest day in the second week of this, there are 3 mountain stages. And then after the final rest day, the last week starts with an individual time trial, a flat stage, the final flat stage. And, well, I say the final till they get to the Champs-Élysées in Paris. But after it's a team trial, individual time trial, a flat stage, 3 mountain stages. This Tour de France could go down to the very end. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch every morning on Peacock is where I'm catching that. All right. I told you we were going to get to Southwestern Junior College Football Conference previews and predictions this year. And that's exactly what we have going. And we're going to start. I'm going to give you the bottom 2. Let's talk about them first for the 2026 SWJCFC predictions. Number 8, I've got New Mexico Military. Last year, they were 3-6. This year could be a rough year. Right now, according to what they've got scheduled, I have them at a 1-7, 0-7 in the conference. Oliver Sukup is back as the coach. He's an outstanding guy. I love him. I just don't know if NMMI can continue that run that they've had here lately where they compete. They had a 1-point loss to Tyler last year. They're always dangerous in those one-game scenarios. And, you know, they were a national champion not too many years ago, but their defense hasn't been consistent enough that they score. They can score points, but that defense has got to really, really improve. Stop giving up those explosive plays. The key game for them this year, September 12th, against Cisco. They host Cisco. That's going to be a really, really key game. Number 7, Blinn College. Ryan Mahan enters his 9th year. Last year, they were 4-5. No, I'm predicting them to be 4-5, 2-5 in the conference. They have offensive pieces, and they can build around those. Ryan Mahan, he has every year, he has an offensive piece. The concern is whether the defense can hold up. They gave up a lot of big point totals late last season. They may be better than their record. The question is that defense, like I said, September 19th, when they play Navarro, when they host Navarro, is going to be a very interesting game and a critical game for them. And speaking of the Bulldogs, they're my predicted 6th place finish this year. And they've had Jacques Guillot comes in as the coach. 3-5 is what I predicted them to be. They were 5-3 last year. Look, they remain dangerous. Navarro's going to always be dangerous, especially defensively. But this interim coach situation adds some uncertainty for me. They've got talent to beat the teams in the middle of the league and possibly surprise 1 or 2 at the top. Make it difficult for teams like Tyler, Kilgore, Snow. How much does the coaching change affect consistency? That's the question. October 3rd at Cisco. It's always a hard place to play at Cisco. We'll see how the Bulldogs, that's a key game for them. And you've heard Cisco mentioned a lot. Well, they're the 5th team in my predictions this year. Charlie Rizzio, he's done an outstanding job at Cisco, producing quality year after year. Great guy, fun to talk to. They should not be viewed anymore as a transition team. They were in the semifinals. They were a top 4 team last year and played Tyler tough and nearly beat them a couple times. It's really good. Look, overall, the Southwestern Junior College Football Conference, getting rid of Northeastern Oklahoma A&M and bringing in Snow has made this league so much tougher. So much tougher. But Cisco's got enough. I think Charlie Rizzio is a good enough coach. The question is, can they turn up wins and when they have those close losses against the teams? They play tough. It's that getting over the hump. October 10th, they host Trinity Valley. That's a key game for them and could decide the playoff spot because number 4, Cardinals of Trinity Valley. It's where I have them predicted. Sherrod Petit is back as head coach, and they are a safe pick among the second tier in this conference. Always are, and they're going to be a threat to compete at the top tier teams as well. They beat multiple playoff caliber teams almost every year. But the schedule is so brutal. Their road games this year are Kilgore, Snow, and Tyler. That is hard. And they're a playoff team. If they can handle if they can win 1 or 2 of those, they're a playoff team. And win 1 of those, I think they're definitely a playoff team. Can they steal 1 of those 3? And September 5th, their first shot at Kilgore. Might be their best shot. We'll see. Speaking of the Rangers, they come in at my number 3 in the predictions. Willie Gooden. He's going to have a good team every year. That man knows how to coach. He knows how to build a roster, and they are a pick to rebound from their 4-5 record last year. They were below their standard. No doubt about it. Willie Gooden will tell you that right off the bat. But they've got that structure of the program and the stability that they need. If the defense can clean up some of the issues they had later in the season, Kilgore is going to be right back in the top tier of the conference. So their question, was last year a blip or is it a warning? If they don't rebound and get back in that top tier, there's going to be some questions around Kilgore as to what the Rangers can continue to do. September 12th is a very key game for the Rangers. They host Snow College in that game. That is going to be a very, very key game. Number 2, the reigning champions of the conference is my pick to finish second this year, the Tyler Apaches. It's a coaching change, right? Brady Davis is in. Tanner Jacobson went on to Weber State. Brady Davis is here. And Tyler was in the national semifinals last year. And look, if you can run this conference is one of the top conferences in junior college and NJCAA. If a team can run their conference schedule and the playoff games, absolutely brutal to ask a team to do it. But if they can, they're a national semifinalist and a top seed. If they do it with one loss within that time frame, and those losses can't be playoffs. You lose playoffs, you're likely out one of those last 2 weeks. But you can lose one during the season and still be a national semifinalist. With how hard this conference is, with the strength, just with even greater, like through the roof hard. So the question is, can Brady Davis lead the Apaches back? Gonna be really hard. It's gonna be hard. They're still going to have a championship caliber roster, no doubt about it. And, the coaching change, I'm not sure how much that's going to have an effect. And that's where the question is, how smooth is that transition from Tanner Jacobson to Brady Davis? September 26th, watch that day. Tyler travels to Snow to play the Badgers, and that is going to be a heck of a game to watch. And that leaves only one team. The newcomer in the league is my pick to win this year. And this is not going to set well. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some people this is not going to go over well. Prove me wrong. These are just predictions. It means absolutely nothing. Go prove me wrong. That's what I always say. That's what we're here for. Snow College, the newcomer. Zach Erickson back. Snow enters the conference. They're more than a newcomer, right? They bring instant national credibility and stability and a defensive identity that can travel and also a place that is so hard to go play. Now, question for the Badgers. That schedule is much tougher now. Do they have enough depth to win in this league? Depth is the question. Can they handle that weekly physical grind and the travel that it's going to take? That's multiple trips to Texas from Utah. It's going to be hard. September 26th, they host Tyler. That could be for the number one seed in the playoffs. If my predictions hold true, it will be for the number one seed in the playoffs. The one thing I love about this conference is, honestly, any of these 8 teams could come up and win, and I would not be fully surprised. This is some of the best football I watch every year. Some of the best players I see is in the Southwest Junior College Football Conference. And so I don't think that's going to be any different this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something to watch, something to keep up with, and we'll keep previewing other ones that, we got NAI, we got some D3, some D2, and we're going to definitely hit the FCS as well. Some news that hit a little earlier today. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. Justin Verlander has announced that he will retire after this season. And, it's time. It's time. Justin Verlander is going to be a Hall of Fame pitcher. First ballot? No, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I don't even know. I'm not even going to sit here and look at the numbers to tell you he's not a first ballot guy. He is definitely a Hall of Famer. He was outstanding. 3-time Cy Young, American League MVP in 2011. 43 years old. Hard to hang it up. It's hard to hang it up. And Justin Verlander, like many others, I idolized Nolan Ryan growing up. I really enjoyed watching him. He hung around too long, too many years. That ERA starts creeping up to 5 consistently, and it's just not good. But Justin Verlander is one of the all-time greats, and he will go down in the Hall of Fame with a lot of the all-time greats. Again, not the first ballot, but he'll get some first ballot run. I think he will. Three Cy Youngs. There's going to be people that make a case for him, and go ahead. I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm telling you you're wrong. Anyway, so this becomes a farewell tour for him now with the Tigers, as the Tiger season's kind of a farewell tour as well. Hey, let me go back. I didn't mention earlier, last few minutes here. Let's go back and talk about where. Oh, yes, NCAA Sorsby situation. I'm not giving full thoughts about that. There's only 5 minutes. I don't have time. But the NCAA sent a letter of inquiry to Cincinnati on Brendan Sorsby's time with the program. Could be some punishment coming. And we will see how that goes. It's going to be interesting, very intriguing to see where this ends up. I think just in my general thoughts about this situation, it ended up the best it could have, I think, for everyone involved, for Texas Tech, for the NCAA, for the future of even college athletics. I think this situation ended up where he's just not going to play this year. And if he went play CFL, that's great. They can take that. But I get the NFL. I get what happened in this situation, and I think in the end it worked out best for all, because if he was allowed to play, man, you've got the ramifications. Don't just hit D1 and FBS. You're going to have those ramifications going all the way through. And gambling in college athletics is I know, right? We're going to get the FanDuel national championships. I get the sponsorships. It is a little hypocritical, as the NCAA loves to be a bit hypocritical. They definitely are. But you got to be careful. Gambling is still that line that you got to be careful with in the NCAA, and they had to toe this one. And I'm glad it worked out like it did, so that we don't have this all season. It would be a horrendous storyline. It would not be fun. It would not be fun for anyone to follow. Okay, like I was saying, back to the World Cup. Let's go through the quarterfinals. France and Morocco, they play tomorrow, 3:00 on Fox. France is the favorite in this. There's 4 teams I've said are the best 4, and France is definitely one of those. I think they handle Morocco. Morocco can give a fight, but I think France is just so good. And July 10th, Friday, 2:00, Spain and Belgium will be playing. I like Spain. I think Belgium can give them some trouble, but Spain is just so talented. Saturday, 2 quarterfinal games on Saturday. Norway and England play at 4:00. England is the favorite. I think they are the better team there. I think they just have the more well-rounded team from midfield and forwards, maybe even a little better of a defensive back line as well. Erling Haaland, however you want to say his name, that dude is been so much fun to watch. I love Norway. The Norwegian row has been so cool. It's been fun. And I would not be upset to see them beat England and make it to the semifinals. I think our country has kind of gotten behind Norway a little bit. But England showed a lot against Mexico Monday night. That win was so impressive. And I think, or what wasn't there? That was Sunday night. Sunday night. That win was impressive, whatever night it was. England looked so good. They've got so many talented, dangerous weapons on that team. I just think they got a little more than Norway can provide. And then Argentina and Switzerland at 8:00 Saturday night. Argentina's going to be favored in this one. They should be. They should win. Of the 4 teams, of the big 4, my big 4, France, Spain, England, Argentina. Of those 4, Argentina, to me, is the one that's in the most unsteady of position. They're an extremely, haven't seen a lot. They haven't necessarily had a tough schedule. They haven't really played up to par. They haven't played like one of those teams. We've seen Spain play outstanding. England obviously has. France, we've seen what Dembele and Mbappe and that whole team can do. We have not seen it, though, yet from Argentina. almost cost them. Incredible comeback yesterday. You're not gonna survive that too often. They have got to find that focus. They got to find that form. Their form is just not there right now. And unless they find it, I think England is the favorite to get through that part of the bracket. And at that point, you could get England, Spain, France. That would be fun. That would be fun. No matter who's in the final, it would be fun. That does it for this edition of the Corey Hogue Sports Show. Thank you so much for watching on Facebook or on YouTube channel. Find us or on Substack. This is posted as a video after, not a live video. So this will be posted here in a little bit and made free to at least watch. I will be back again, not Friday. I will be back next Monday. Let me make sure of that because I know there's some things coming up on the calendar. Yes, I will be back next Monday. And we are 2 weeks away from Conference USA Media Day. 2 weeks. That's right. Football's here. We're going to keep talking about it. Thank you so much again for joining. Hope to see you back on Monday. Until then, stay safe and be blessed.
It's clear, sharp and bold. Covering every team, every season, every story worth being told. The CoryHogueSports Show. The CoryHogueSports Show. Big stories and real conversations bring the truth.